The American jobs engine clearly is still firing on all cylinders. The latest monthly report from the government this morning showed non-farm payrolls were up 304,000 in January, the most in nearly a year, and that blew away expectations of 170,000. The unemployment rate did rise slightly to 4%, but that is still an historically low number. Average hourly earnings were higher. They have now risen more than 3% of the past year, and that is something that the Fed watches very carefully. But what's interesting is this report shows that most private sector businesses shrugged off any economic uncertainty that might have been created by the partial government shutdown. They just kept hiring. Ylan Mui reports tonight from Washington.
The U.S. economy shaking off the shutdown, delivering big job gains in January. President Trump celebrated the strong numbers at the White House today, calling them a reflection of his winning policies.
We added 304,000 jobs, which was a shocker to a lot of people. It wasn't a shocker to me.
Hiring was strong almost across the board. Leisure and hospitality led the way with 74,000 jobs. Construction was up by 52,000 jobs, and healthcare grew by 42,000 jobs.
I think what this data shows is the private sector has remained robust, even as the government is Twitter-pated with the shutdown.
In fact, the unemployment rate did tick up from 3.9% in December to 4% in January. How could that happen? It's because of the way the Labor Department collected information about the shutdown. Furloughed federal workers were counted as employed in the government's survey of businesses, so there was no impact on the number of jobs created last month. But when the Labor Department surveyed individual households, furloughed workers were counted as on temporary layoff, 175,000 of them, pushing the unemployment rate up.
Everyone will have to deal with the shutdown again because it's on your mind consistently. There was no free vacation.
Another 500,000 people were classified as working part-time for economic reasons last month, perhaps even taking jobs at places like Uber and Lyft. That's evidence that the shutdown did have an effect on private contractors and other businesses that rely on the federal government.
I hope Congress will figure out a way for the contractors to get their back pay as well, because we work along with the federals just as hard as they do.
One word of caution. The Labor Department says it's really difficult to capture the full effect of a shutdown, and even the headline numbers are subject to change. December's blockbuster job report of 312,000 jobs, that was revised downward to just 222,000 jobs, a lot closer to what investors had expected all along. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Ylan Mui in Washington.